everybody, PT Gazelle here. We're at SPAH in Tulsa, 2017, having a great time. It's always a big party and a lot of fun. And we're really excited because we have one of our newer endorsees with us. And not only that, but is a good friend of mine that we actually met, I guess, quite a few years ago, and then actually hooked up in China in 2008. And had a blast, and I'm glad to see him. I don't think I've seen him since 2008, so help me welcome Tony Eyers. Good to see you, Tony.
Okay, good to see you. Nice to be here.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
So you having a good time at the convention?
Well, I'm surrounded by harmonica players.
Well,
you know, and if you can't have a good time here, you can't have a good time anywhere.
Well, that's true, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, I've seen you out in the hall just tearing it up with like David Nadich and other people.
You know, and just seeing people who play unbelievable. You know, people like Todd Parrott.
Oh yeah.
You know, I haven't seen you do anything yet.
Thankfully. Thankfully.
You know, so no, this is a tremendous place to be.
Good.
You know.
Good. So, you know, one of the real exciting things is that recently Seydel started putting out as a default tuning your major cross tuning.
They have, and look, I think you're actually responsible for that.
Well, I made an introduction.
You made the introduction.
I made an introduction.
You know, so that's, and I mean, it's really nice how that happened, because I mean, you know, I'd written an article, I'd mentioned, actually I made some of your method harmonicas, and then I think Seydel sort of put me in touch, and you sort of, you know, we had a Skype, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I spoke to Lars, and it's 45 minutes, and I met Lars in person just today, and he's, you know, for the CEO of a major company, it sort of looks like he should be on a soccer team. But it's been a real treat to meet him.
He's a great guy.
But when initially, because I've got a teaching site, Harmonica Academy, and the initial thing was to link that up, but I thought, well, what can I do with Seydel? And this thing came up, because my thing for the last 20 years has been using this alternate tuning. Right. But because it requires 7 notes to be changed, either you have to be able to do it yourself, or you have to pay, and I think you've set them up for some people, and it requires, you know, a fair amount of custom work.
Yeah, it does. If you're starting with a Richter.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas one of the things about Seydel, and I think right from the very beginning, is their harp configurator, the harmonica configurator.
Right.
Where you can get your own tunings.
Right. Yeah. And for those of you that don't know what he's talking about, at the Seydel website, there's a feature called the configurator, and if it's possible, talking about profile and reed length, you can design your own, basically your own harmonica, which is very cool. And there are default tunings in there like Richter and natural minor and harmonic minor and bebop and a few other ones.
Patty
Richter, and that's what Tony's talking about. And so now major cross is one of the default tunings. You don't have to think about it anymore. You can just say, I want major cross, and pick the key, and you're set.
Actually, no, that was the starting point, because I figured that, because Seydel's the only company that does that, and it's part of the culture, part of it's small, it's a boutique company, you know, boutique high-end harmonica company.
Right.
But then I do a lot of online stuff, and I've looked a lot at what you have to do to move things online.
Right.
And you got to make it as simple as possible.
Yes.
You know, any barrier is a barrier.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I said was, well, look, is there any way and I gave them the details, they put on the configurator, and rather than going through the menu, I said, look, can we set it up so there's a page, seydel8047.de/major cross.
Gotcha.
They go to the page, there's the pictures, there's the video.
It's there.
It's there, they press the button.
Yeah.
And you know, the great thing about Seydel, you don't have to go through 4 layers of management, you know, and go offshore and different, you know, you just speak to Lars.
You speak to Lars.
And he says, yeah, why not? And then this was a really nice thing, and this really made my day, and has made my day every day since, is I said, yeah, we'll put it out, and we'll give you this blue comb.
Nice.
So if you see a blue combed instrument,
yeah, and that's been kind of a thing, because that's what we did with the Gazelle method. When Lars and I picked a different shade of blue and made it translucent. Yeah. So it's the only model that has that particular color and shade. It's this one is based on their Session Steel model.
Exactly.
So it's got the recessed reed plates and the full cover, what Germany calls the full rounded covers. Yeah. But I want to talk a little bit about the tuning.
Yeah, so let's get into that.
I mean, I do, and I want you to get into the nuts and bolts of that. But one of the things about that is that I know for a fact that you kind of arrived there because you wanted to play fiddle tunes and Irish music with a little more facility, for lack of a better term, right?
And look, with alternate tunings, it's not an intellectual thing, at least to me. It's a desire to play a particular type of music.
I don't have any problem with alternate tuning.
Yeah, but a really strong desire to play American fiddle tunes, which I sort of came upon 20 years ago.
Right.
And I sort of fought for a couple of years trying to figure out how to do it. And there was a time, and I even wondered if it was possible. And this was sort of early internet days, and I remember someone told me about Brendan Power. And I searched, and then I still remember the night I sat in my office at work, not working, and through the internet, through this crackly MP3, came him playing Drunken Landlady on his album New Irish Harmonica. And every time I play, I thank Brendan because I thought it's possible. So then the thing is, well, how to get a harmonica to do that? And you know, I'd played blues a lot, and I was a decent player. And so, but sort of doing all the bending and stuff, it was just hard.
It's difficult to facilitate that fluidly.
Exactly. And the thing with bluegrass is, unlike other forms of music, at a festival, the good players will be standing over there, and you can join them and play with them if
you can play the song.
If you're good enough.
Yeah.
And as harmonica players, we're sort of competitive. I mean, when you get older, you get past the thing of wanting to be better than everyone else because because part of the thing of being older, you don't care. but there's still the thing that we all have of wanting to play with the best players possible.
Absolutely.
And that's just a thing of, that's what you want to do. Now with bluegrass, there's a ticket, sort of a key to the gate, as it were, and that's to know the tune repertoire and to be able to play it cleanly and up to speed.
That's right.
And the thing with the good mandolin and fiddle players is they've spent years at it, and they play it at sort of this blistering pace, but they play it easily. So I thought, okay, I want an instrument to do that. And the epiphany for me was at the National Folk Festival in Australia back in '96, I think.
Okay.
Watching the button accordion players. And the button accordion, it's a harmonica.
Yeah.
And I remember their fingers are going, and I thought, they're not bending any notes, they're not fudging anything.
It's there.
It's there. And I thought, okay, let's do that on a harmonica. And there's already a tuning, it's called Melody Maker, where essentially you're playing second position.
Right.
Because let's face it, 85% of us are second position players. And I thought, if I can do that, but tune it to the scale which is used for the fiddle tunes, you end up with one of these. And it's sort of, so here, this is a regular sort of C harmonica.
Richter?
And, Richter.
Richter, yeah. So play this and then show
okay,
us
so
what
if
you
you try and play a scale on this, in second position, just that bend, that flat fifth.
It's not there.
And so that note, you know, when you get better, you can sort of hear it and get it in tune, but it's got that colour. You hear that?
Right.
Okay, so now if we then go on to, this is the major cross. So here I'm blowing. And you can go quick.
Right.
But the truth is, I'm playing this major cross tuning, and all I'm doing is huffing and puffing. So, but look, there's more to that because I've worked hard at it for 20 years. So here's a tune. This one's called the Temperance Reel, and I play it sort of. Now, the thing with this music, it's not about, I mean, sometimes it's very fast, but so.
Sure.
But, you know, and playing fast for the sake of being fast is sort of not what it's about, but playing fast with other players who are capable of playing fast and being comfortable means you've got a bit of headroom. It's it's like flying. That's the best I can describe it. It's like flying.
People that remember my history or know my history know that I started out playing bluegrass, and that was a big thing for me, was that when I would go, you know, you would get the look, because I like went to Bean Blossom, Bill Monroe's festival back in mid-70s,
Yes.
and a harmonica player, that was the last thing they wanted to see.
You're a brave man, I'll tell you.
Well, or an idiot, one of the two. But I was young and full of energy, and knew that I knew these tunes, knew that I could play them. And so, like, you know, and just made sure when my time, you know, they'd grudgingly let me, you know, take it around once, and I could play it. And I didn't try to embellish it, and I didn't try to flourish it. I would just play it as it was supposed to be played. So I understand exactly what you're talking about there.
But the thing with bluegrass is it's kind of like jazz, in that the tunes, they've got heads, and then you'll take in turns to take your solos.
Sure.
And there are rules. In terms of, you've got to stay close to the melody, but embellishment is probably the way.
Embellishment. It's embellishment. It's little flourishes and embellishment. It's not real exotic improvising.
You're not blowing over the chords. You sort of, and that's the thing. So I've been lucky, because I got onto these early, to be able to get a repertoire and play with good players. But look, let's talk about this, because you know, through the years I've been lucky enough to play high-end custom instruments which were made for my style, which is fast and very loud, because you have to be, because you're cutting.
Got to cut through the other instruments.
The banjos and the fiddles and
acoustically.
Acoustically.
Right.
And you have to, if you can't make a presence, I mean, they're not going to play quieter so that you can be, and I've just wanted to be able to make a mark. So when I got this, I thought, okay, what's it like? And I really wanted it to be good. Yeah, because I mean, it had my name on it. And actually, it's a great instrument. It really is. And the thing that I like about it is it's fast. And fast means that
it's responsive.
It's responsive, but also all of the air that you put in is making sound.
Is making sound. It's not wasted.
Yeah, and so a lot of harmonicas you play, particularly in the top register, that kind of thing, you feel, oh, I'm out of breath, what's different? And it's because not all the air is doing work. So I was really pleased with this, that all of the air does work. So that's the thing. So look, I'm very happy for this to be out there and for people to be able to play major cross harmonicas.
Well, we're going to wrap this up here in just a second, but you're looking at the bottom of the screen here and you see Tony's website, and also here's the link at the bottom for the page Tony was talking about at Seydel. And also earlier you saw a little insert of the actual tuning itself. So I would encourage you folks that are playing acoustically and are looking for some way to maybe not have to bend so many notes if you don't want to. I would definitely check this tuning out. I really think it's cool, man. I mean, I thought that the first time I heard it. How many years ago is that now,
well,
man?
it's like
it's
early,
a long time.
Yeah, more than 12
Because
years.
even before we went to China, you and I had somehow communicated, as I remember.
Actually, we met at SPAH in 2005.
Oh, that's what it was.
And you came up to me, because I'd had a CD and I'd sent it to everyone.
Yeah.
And I remember you came up to me, "Are you Tony Eyers?" And I said, hang on, let me think about that.
Well, the first thing you asked me was, why do I owe you any money, as I remember.
Well, that's right, and and it went downhill from there, and it hasn't gotten any better, but there we go.
Well, man, it's really a pleasure to see you again.
It's great to be on.
It's always fun to be with you, man. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Okay, thanks for having me on.
All right, brother.
Okay.